starvation, not having food. These are just a few of the many problems that real people face every single day, which is why I'm so encouraged to share with you the story of these poor African children who, without a penny to their names, banded together to raise enough money to feed one of those people in need of nourishment. Ariana Grande.
Tumekuwa na njaa kwa muda, lakini sidhani kama kuna mtu yeyote katika kijiji changu amewahi kwenda mbali kama Ariana Grande.
Sikuweza kumudu dola ya Galinda, hivyo nikatengeneza moja kwa kutumia vijiti, lakini bado inaonekana yenye afya kuliko ile halisi. Labda misaada ya kigeni ipelekwe kwa Miss Grande badala yetu, kwani misaada yetu mingi inamezwa na serikali yetu fisadi. Ndugu wangu amenipa nusu ya chakula chake kwa miaka 5 iliyopita ili nisinyauke kabisa, na bado nikimlinganisha na Ariana, ndugu wangu ni bonge nono.
Now that you've heard from these children, take some time to reflect on the blessings you've been given in your life. Reach deep within yourself, and then do the same thing you always do. Absolutely nothing. Trusting that the compassion you feel for others will be met by the actions of others, such as these children or the U.S. government. This message is brought to you.
Sorry.
Yes, sir.
He's just hungry for knowledge, that's all. Yeah, that brother's starving.
This is the book of 1 Thessalonians, chapter 2, starting off at verse 3. For our exhortation was not of deceit, nor of uncleanness, nor in guile. But as we were allowed of the Most High to be put in trust with the gospel, even so we speak, not as pleasing men, but the Most High, which trieth our hearts. Call Hulayim La, Abanawa, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak, Khodash. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to the Akim out there on the highways and the byways. Salutations to the hopeful elect. Salutations to you speckled birds, you Israelite foreigners. And shalom to the Akwaf, sitting and listening in silence as the scriptures say to do so. 1 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. For our exhortation was not of deceit, nor of uncleanness, nor in guile. But as we were allowed of the Most High to be put in trust with the gospel, even so we speak, not as pleasing men, but the Most High, which trieth our hearts. And basically, to make it clear, cut and straight to the point, we are literally, set up to be truthful, declare the bitter, the sweet, the lamentations, the woes, the promises, the comfort, to reveal and correctly and precisely to break down the prophecies, to warn, to condemn, to edify. So it's a real blessing from Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai to feed the flock, in which we're supposed to do continuously. We're not supposed to have no days off. We're not supposed to slack, be lazy, etc. And our exhortation, let's look at that word exhortation real quick. Bear with me, just so we can have a thorough understanding. Exhortation. The main thing that we want to take from this is supplication, a calling near, instructive, comfort, constellation, comfort or refreshment. It is not these words, these precepts, our Bible of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Is not what we speak, refreshing and comfort, and also what's the word I'm looking for? It's Slakia. Instructive. And also encouragement. Salaki. That's also another definition for it, encouragement. So these words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai encourage you. Point blank period. So let's read that again. This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. For our exhortation was not of deceit, nor of uncleanness, nor in guile, but as we were allowed of the Most High. So the Most High, he allowed us, gave us the secrets, okay, gave us his testimony, and told us to go to profess it amongst his sheep, amongst his people, to be trusted with the gospel, okay, which is the good news, man, which is only for Israel. Even so we speak, okay, so we speak, we teach, prophesy, warn, condemn, etc., man. No days off. Okay, this is a basic lesson. And as you saw in the clip, Salakia, as you saw in the clip, which was meant, there was a funny clip, but, I looked at it as a spiritual thing, because at one point we were starving. At one point, we didn't have the real food. Job 23, I want to say. And also Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 16, 26. Okay, we didn't have that real fruit that nourisheth man, which is the words, the testimonies of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. Okay? And at one point, we were starving. We were hungry for truth. We were hungry for the answers that we desired, and were searching to be answered, man. Okay? Even so we speak, not as pleasing men, but the Most High who trieth our hearts. Okay? But let's continue. This is going to be a quick one. We're going to just go ahead and eat real quick, and it'll be a quick one. So let's go to the book of Sirach. Because the Lord has put us up in a position to teach. Okay, we have a responsibility to feed the sheep, to make sure they're edified, informed, warned, etc., man. So this is the book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach. So we got to let this doctrine shine. Okay, this is Sirach 24, starting off at verse 32. I will yet make doctrine to shine as the morning, and will send forth her light afar off. Okay, and the Lord is going to speak through his prophets to have this doctrine shine, to have this doctrine shine and prosper upon the earth, man. What does it say in the book of what is it? I think it's the book of St. Matthew 24. This gospel shall be preached around the world. Then shall the end come, roughly paraphrasing. Okay, so this doctrine is shining upon the earth, man. And everybody, especially Esau, is going crazy, man, because they know that their judgment and their rulership is at an end. Okay, because again, you have the men at Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai has set up to do the bidding, man. Prophesy, because before the Lord destroys a kingdom and transitions to a new rulership, he sends forth his prophets. Okay, Sirach 24 verse 32. I will yet make doctrine to shine as the morning, and will send forth her light afar off. I will yet pour out doctrine as prophecy, because it's also prophesied that in the last days that the Lord will rise up his prophets, and that the truth shall flourish, and faith, shall also flourish and prosper upon the earth, man. A lot of things shall be brought to life in the prophecies. A lot of division, famine, pestilence, etc. All these things are going to be brought forth, man. Okay, the joyful noise is going to, and the noise of tabrets and mirth is going to cease. Prosperity is going to be non-existent, etc., man. All these things, man. Okay, so prophecy is literally speaking through the true doctrine of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. And leave it to all ages forever. Behold, that I have not labored for myself only, but for all them that seek wisdom. So we're not only laboring for ourselves, studying, researching, okay, continuously meditating upon the precepts and, doing what we need to do to Adawan Ratazah increase and grow in his truth to be able to, share that knowledge with the sheep. Okay, because it's a commandment for us to continuously, as you would do in a garden, water the crops. You hope for the elect, which we hope and pray to be the elect. You're the crops that's being watered by this truth, man. Okay, and that's roughly thinking about what Paul said about Apollos. He said the Most High gives the increase. We watereth, but the Most High gives the increase. And also, what Yahushua said, he that believeth on me, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. And we believe on Yahushua HaMashiach. So out of our belly, our tongues, our mentality comes that true knowledge, that true wisdom, the true understanding of the Bible. Okay, because it's the true men that's set up in these last days, this last captivity, is going to constantly feed the sheep, constantly have a zealous spirit to warn them. Okay, to make sure that that the Lord's will is being declared, not only to the hopeful elect, but also to everybody, man, because not only is it comfort and insurance and encouragement and also embracing the remnant, it's also condemning the unjust and the ungodly and the wicked, man. Okay, but let's continue. I made a statement. I'm going to back it up with a precept. Okay, so the Lord blessed us to be in this position, but the Lord also blessed us with a mouthpiece to do his will. Okay, because the Lord could use a rock, a piece of dirt, a leaf, a tree, anything he sees fit to get his message across the earth, man. So it's a blessing, a true blessing, first and foremost to be an Israelite, but it's also a true blessing, Adawan Ratazah, to be a seer, a watchman, a spokesman, to be the mouthpiece of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. This is Isaiah chapter 50, and I'm going to read verses 4-5. Yahweh power have given me the tongue of the learned. So the Lord has given us the knowledge, the wisdom, and unlocked the understanding in us to be able to learn, to understand his will, his pleasure, his agenda, and to be able to recite and precisely break these things down, to warn, to edify, to condemn everything that the prophets have always done from the days of old until now, in this last captivity, to be able to go out there and boldly stand and speak the truth. And again, no days off, constantly, man. All right? Because again, at one point, we were just like this commercial. We were hungry. We were starving for what? Not for no damn food. And actually, the real food is this truth, is the words of the Heavenly Father, man. Okay? That's the real food that we were seeking. And now that we've gotten it, man, we're addicted. You should be addicted to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. You should be addicted to, meditating upon the precepts, desiring to learn more, to grow, to increase in our culture, in our heritage. Okay, and everything that has to do with Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Wa Yahweh Shai. Okay, Yahweh power have given me the tongue of the learned, that I should know how to speak a word in season to him that is weary. And what does it say in the book of, I think 1 Thessalonians? Comfort one another with these words, man. And that's what we do for the remnant. I don't want to rock this out. We are the remnant. That's what we do for the hopeful elect. We comfort you with these words. You don't have to be worried, because why? The Lord has risen, awoken, activated his prophets to give you comfort, to give you the answers again that you were seeking for, that you had a desire to be what's the word I'm looking at for? It's like desire to be I guess just answered. Salakia. But the prophets is here to give you the answers, man. Continuing on, he wakeneth morning by morning, he wakeneth mine ear to hear as the learned. Okay, so the Lord is busy at work, man. Not only is he putting his prophets on a certain level, he's also again increasing and watering his sheep. Verse 5, Yahweh power have opened mine ear, and I was not rebellious. Okay, so what does that mean? That means that the men that the Lord has actually revealed his secrets to, they have humility, they're sincere, they're in subjection to the Lord. They're not disobedient, they're not rebellious. Salakia. Okay? The Lord Yahweh power have opened mine ear, and I was not rebellious, neither turned away. So I can neither turn away back. Okay, self-explanatory. And I missed the precept, but let's go ahead and get that right now. I just now noticed it. Salakia. Okay, what is that? Let me see here. Salakia. Bear with me, man. This is Hebrews chapter 3, verse 13. Hebrews chapter 3, verse 13. Salakia. But exhort one another daily while it is called today, at least any of you be hardened through the deceitfulness of sin. So, again, that's another thing that we do to keep ourselves, again, as I stated, we meditate upon thy precepts. Okay, we constantly seek edification, to be sanctified and purified by the word every day. And yes, you're going to fall short. You're going to make errors. You're going to go off sometimes. But what do? You acknowledge them. Okay, as it says in the book of Proverbs, I believe 24, a just man falleth 7 times, but riseth up again. Okay, so you got to acknowledge the error of your ways and repent and learn from those things and grow from them. Okay, but it says, but exhort one another daily. Now let's look at that word exhort. Okay, let's look at that word exhort. So exhort 38:70, and it says to admonish, entreat, okay, encourage, to be comforted, strengthen, instruct, teach, to address, speak to, which may be done in the way of exhortation, as we read in the first precept. Okay, comfort, instruction. Okay, but we have it instruct to teach, and that's what we do. And that's why us exhorting the sheep and one another, because we learning too. We're learning from our elder apostles, elder bishops, elders on down, and even from other brothers, seasoned brothers. We learn from one another, man. I know I do. I can't speak for everybody else, but I know I do. And that's good for, all of us in general, man, because, every day is a new trial and tribulation. Every day is a new test, man. Okay, you don't know what the next day, if you wake up to see the next day, what it's gonna bring and what's gonna help you get through it, man. And it's not gonna be off your own mind. It's gonna be off your Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man. Okay, and also for us to exhort one another each day, it also goes into what Yahweh Shah HaMashiach stated and said to Simon Peter, man. Let's grab that and close out. Because, we show our love not by mouth service, not by lip service. We show our love by devotion, by dedication, by, our deeds, man. We don't just speak it, we prove it. Okay, so this is St. John 21. This is self-explanatory, starting off at verse 15. So when they had dined, Yahweh Shai saith to Simon Peter, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me more than these? He saith unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He saith unto him, Feed my lambs. Okay, feed my sheep. Feed the hopeful elect. He saith to him again the second time, Simon, son of Jonas, Lovest thou me? He saith unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He saith unto him, Feed my sheep. He saith unto him the third time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? Peter was grieved, because he said unto him the third time, Lovest thou me? And he said unto him, Lord, thou knowest all things. Thou knowest that I love thee. Yahushua saith unto him, Feed my sheep. So Yahushua made it clear. You got to constantly be working. You got to constantly be feeding the sheep. No days off. You can't be lazy. You can't slack. Okay, just like our body require, just like our bodies, these prisons require water, vitamins, minerals, sleep, exercise, all types of stuff. The hopeful elect requires the main nutrients, the main comfort, the main answer of everything is the words of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, man. Okay, so it's just a basic lesson, man. It's always good to go back into the basics, just to dust things off, get the cobwebs off, and keep on moving and grooving and going, man. But we gotta feed the sheep, as Yahweh Shai stated. That was a commandment, and Yahweh also stated that too, man. Lord willing, and I say it to myself first and foremost, man. So Lord willing, man, we stay on track, don't get sidetracked, and endure to the end, and make sure that we doing what's asked of us. So I don't want to rock this out, man. I hope and I pray that this was edifying and uplifting and informative to the true, sincere Aki and Akwaf. So with that, I'm just going to say, Shalom.